Hey everyone, so I wanted to take a minute just to do a little, 1 minute review hopefully. I wanted to do a video on these shelves that I recently purchased. I was going to write a review, a regular like everybody else, but I couldn't do this without showing you exactly what I was talking about. For whatever reason, these shelves here have almost a 5-star review. I have no idea why, but I wanted to show you exactly what the problems were with these shelves so that you can be cautious, especially if you have kids around the house or anything like that. But these are the shelves right here. I don't know how to say the name, but each one of those shelves can hold up to, I believe that says 200 pounds and a total capacity of 400 pounds. That is a lot of weight. By the way, this shelf right here probably has about less than 75 pounds. It's all it is just shoe boxes. But anyways, let me show you the first problem that you're going to be having. This shelf right here moves back and forth just like this. In fact, let me show it to you, just moving it just slightly a little bit. You see that? I don't know if you heard that, but it's funny because I heard that California recently had a earthquake, and you can imagine if this shelf right here moves back and forth and you have a total of 200 pounds on these shelves right here, that's a danger to somebody, especially if anybody's standing underneath these shelves. That's a big no-no. The other problem that I have is with these little pegs right here. You see that right there? That little thing is holding this entire shelf from going back and being able to lift up. In other words, if one of these sides, say for example if it wasn't counterweight appropriately, this shelf could potentially just lift up and completely fall on somebody. And it's being held by that little thing right there. In fact, this thing moves just a slight bit back. I don't know if you can see that. It moves just a little bit back, but it's being held right there. You see that? If this were to move back just a little bit and up, the shelf could potentially come down. Lastly, the other issue that I had with these shelves is just that the build quality of this. As you probably guys or girls already know, that the build quality needs to be there. With these shelves, I found that a lot of the soldering, a lot of the build just wasn't there. And I'll give you an example here. This is just one out of many from this one. You see this? Look at that. This entire bar here is not soldered appropriately. It's only soldered back there. So it moves back and forth. So if you're trying to put 200 pounds up there, and some of these are not soldered appropriately, you can almost imagine that something could fall on somebody, and it's a big danger. Lastly, I got this little letter, this little thing from the company. I'm glad it actually focused, but let me read it to you just so you know exactly what you're purchasing here. It says here, the purchaser assumes all liabilities if load exceeds 200 pounds or if improperly installed. Well, you know what? That tells you a little bit about where the company has, their idea or whatever. I mean, they're saying that you as a buyer assumes all liability if this shelf completely falls on somebody and kills somebody or whatever, somebody gets hurt. But as you can see, I installed this appropriately on stubs, and I did everything I needed to do. And still, as you can tell, it's a danger to anybody who's under here. So again, I'm writing this video I'm making this video to warn people. If you're gonna put these on to put toys up there for kids, or even if you're gonna have it in a room or whatever. Especially like I just said, I heard that California had an earthquake. Who knows what other place has those kind of events. If this shelf were to move and you have 200 pounds up there and it were to fall on somebody underneath, standing underneath there, or just fall on something, it'll hurt them. It'll so anyways, you get the idea. If you do buy these, just make sure to secure them appropriately. You're going to need extra stuff just to make sure that these are secured. I'm going to do some zip ties and all that stuff just to secure them. and I'm potentially probably going to return this one because I don't like this right here. I don't like the idea of this right there. So you get the idea. Thanks for your time. Hopefully this review helps you. Well, anyways, thanks. Bye.
We have our shelf hanging up in the kitchen, and by the looks of it, it's holding a whole lot of stuff. A whole lot. I love them. Just love my shelves when they're in the wall. I put everything up there, everything. And I mean everything. Thank you.